on his contract at Old Trafford. Who wouldn't want a guy that scores so many goals for you? Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel says Belgium striker Romelu Lukaku will remain in the club as an important part of his plan for next season, despite the 28-year-old being linked with a return to Inter Milan. Well, many Chelsea fans might not like it, Maradona.
Yeah, of course.
It's what it is.
Story.
Manager loves him, and he'll stay in the club.
Well, of course, that's the story. I mean, you don't sign a player for £97.5 million and just let him go. But of course, Blyden, I'll talk to you about the Chelsea story. Todd Boehly is set to become the new owner of the club. Yeah. What do you think this means for the Chelsea fans? Well,
quite early, but the good thing about it is that Chelsea fans are hopeful that they'll have a new owner. And the situation of difficulties and dilemma for the club will be waved aside, and we might begin to see a new wave, a new generation, a new building, new performance of the club. It will be quite exciting to see a post-Roman Abramovich era compared to the new era. It would be an exciting comparison to watch and see.
Absolutely. Yeah, from a neutral perspective, Blyden, what should the fans, football fans, expect from Todd Boehly and his consortium as they've gained, ownership of Chelsea?
Well, we've seen Todd Boehly at different club levels and ownership at different levels, especially with the LA consortium side. We've seen the performances of this side in LA, but come on, Chelsea and football might just be a different ball game altogether, but it would be exciting going forward one way or the other. It's what we have to look forward to. We never can tell what will turn out. We might see a similar situation with what's happening in Manchester United, when the fans are always carrying a placard telling the owner to go that they don't want him. You never can tell what might happen.
Absolutely.
It can either here or there.
Now let's talk about another interesting story. You talked about Blyden, about Paul Pogba with his alleged links to Manchester City. Of course, we understand Fernandinho might be leaving at the end of the season, but of course, should Paul Pogba be the ideal replacement for Fernandinho at Manchester United? Is he a Manchester City, a Pep Guardiola kind of player?
Well, for me, I wouldn't think he's a Pep Guardiola kind of player. I've seen Pep Guardiola struggle with Torre. Guardiola doesn't really like players who hold on to the ball. And Pogba is that kind of player that wants to, he picks it slowly and tries to move around sluggishly with the ball. He wants a fast passing football. And you like to see that with the Gundogan, the De Bruyne, and all these players.
And the rest of them.
When you look at it from financial terms, nobody wants to spend 100 million on the likes of Declan Rice. After all, the first English player to spend a huge money on last season has not really given them that much this season. But come on, it's fair. Pogba is a big name, big player. All he needs is to tutor him to play the style of the coach. It might just work. After all, he'll be coming on a free transfer. And such a big presence in the midfield is important for any team.
All right, so finally, Blyden, let's talk about Bernardo Silva and his links to Barcelona. This man has become an integral part of that Manchester City team. Losing him to Barcelona and then bringing Frankie de Jong, do you think that swap deal would be ideal for both clubs?
Well, ideally, I don't think it would be. But if it were a lower club that needs money, it would have been a perfect deal. But look at Manchester City, such a big club, has the finances to buy anyone they want to buy. So at this point, it's not just about having money or being able to sell a player and gain money. It's all about performance. It's all about top quality. We've seen the disappointment from their side in recent times, having not been able to win the Champions League, which they so desire, being beaten by Real Madrid at 89 minutes, equalized, and then 19 minutes, and then they finished though. It could be disappointing, but I think it might be an opener for the likes of Pep Guardiola to begin to look at how they can tutor the side better. It's not, football is usually not just about the tiki-taka passing around and looking beautiful. You ought to bring in players that could be dirty, bring in a physical presence, and I think that's what the likes of Frankie de Jong could bring for you, one way or the other. All
right, one more thing, Blyden, before we let you go. Of course, there's been this talk, about new coach Erik ten Hag deciding that Ronaldo should stay for at least one more season.
Who wouldn't want that?
Manchester United. That story has actually been met by mixed reactions from the United fans. Some believe that he's a problem with the team and he should go. The others believe that he scored 19 goals for them this season. He should stay and he helped in the rebuilding process of Erik ten Hag. What do you make of these philosophies?
I think people who did believe that Ronaldo was a problem should change their mind by now. Because
it's not the problem.
It's not the problem. Beginning of the season, you've really see that Ronaldo is a solution, not the problem, to United's problem right now. Because without Ronaldo, maybe they might have finished 10th on the log, or 13th. Even 13 or lower than that. So you look at the performances of Ronaldo, many people think if he was playing for Chelsea, maybe he could have added up to 30 goals, or Manchester City, or a better club. But United is struggling, yet Ronaldo is delivering. Not minding the age, 37 years old. He he brings in top-notch performance compared to the young lads in the team, the likes of Rashford. But the thing I noticed about Ronaldo's presence in Manchester United, which I think it could be a problem one way or the other for some of the players, has been that the moment Ronaldo came to Manchester United, it took the notch higher than what they used to do. The standard changed. And the young players, other players who basically of England descent, had been of this sort of situation where you're being babysitted to play. Things go by, they say no problem, Rashford is for the future. And now Ronaldo brings a standard. It's not about the future, it's about delivering now.
Absolutely.
And they're struggling to catch up with Ronaldo, and that has been the situation. But in overall, he's been that solution this season.
Thank you very much, Blythe, for that. I appreciate you. I'd love you to be a fan one of those days. All right, Joe, let's go for another short break. When we come back, we'll talk to the fans and get them to banter. Stick around, we'll be right back.
It is corner now. The cross, back post. Dubois is there, straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois.
Where Kansas City played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
Knowledge of global businesses, economic activities, a new wave of the stock market, forex market, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs creates new dynamics towards emerging market millionaires and billionaires. From the dot-com era to the oil booms, the fundamental news drives the market. This is Business 360, taking you to the business around the globe. Join us from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. weekdays, exclusive on Spectrum Television. Business 360, your prism to world businesses.
Nigerian police, which is the only one allowed by grossly abused. Our governors have to share police powers with the president as stipulated by the constitution. We do not have a federal government police force. We have the Nigerian police force, which shall be administered, organized, and supervised by the Nigerian police.
No, my lord, I want to say something. I want to say something here. Perhaps it might also enlarge the scope of people who should be invited here for examination. My lord, if we cannot find those who literally murdered.
It is corner now. The cross, back post. Dubois is there, straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois.
Because where Kansas City played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
It is corner now. The cross, back post. Dubois is there, straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois.
Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
It's so good to know that you're still here with us. It's still Battle of the Fans live on Spectrum TV. It's a place where football fans banter for who is better. My name is Isaac. You can always call me Marizona, and I'm here with two fans. Of course, I told you earlier on that apart from the Premier League title race with Liverpool and Manchester City, the other four teams, of course, are also chasing the third and fourth position. We have Chelsea with 66 points, Tottenham with 63 points. We're talking about Arsenal as well as Manchester United, all chasing that top four spot at the end of the season. And I've got a Chelsea fan here to talk about his team. By the way, they play later today against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I also have a Manchester United fan, of course, here to talk about his Manchester United team and their chase for a top four finish. Of course, earlier on, a couple of days ago, there was a story about Erik ten Hag saying that his United team have given up hopes on qualifying for the top four. But we'll talk about all of these issues and so much more on the show today. Let me begin with the Manchester United fan, Etoro Inyang. Welcome to the show, Etoro. Are you ready to rumble?
Yeah, well, sure. Very sure. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, for your Manchester United team, there's been this talk about them, losing out on the race for the top four. Do you still think that your team can qualify for the top four?
Well, we have everything at stake for us. We have to actually keep our head high. We know how difficult things have been for this particular campaign. So United at this point in time, we know the players have not been up in their game, but we just hope that maybe with hope, we still have something to do to qualify for the UEFA Champions League, because I believe that we should be there. We should be there no matter the circumstance, because we actually get to give England a better record when it comes to the UEFA Champions League right there. And not missing out on the UEFA Champions League is going to be a big loss for England at this point in time. So imagine having a big player like Cristiano Ronaldo not playing at the UEFA Champions League. The big thing, the big miss is going to be, imagine the number of fans that will be turning up at the stadium to watch the UEFA Champions League. So I believe that even if you are now with 58 points, we still have everything to fight for to play in the UEFA Champions League with about 3 to 2 matches to go. All
right, thank you very much, Etoro Inyang. That's it. So much confidence brimming. He said that it will be disastrous to not see a Ronaldo at the UEFA Champions League. This man has scored 140 goals in the UEFA Champions League. That's the highest by any player in the history of the competition. But let's talk about the Chelsea fan. His name is Ibrahim Joseph. Well, he was here a couple of weeks back, and then to talk about the other team he supports as well, AC Milan. But he's here today to talk about his Chelsea Football Club team. I saw you laughing while he was talking about, United qualifying for the UEFA Champions League. Is it not something you believe in?
Fantastic morning, Mary. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Conference League, and good morning to all the listeners at home. It's really funny, first of all, because I don't even know how to put it. You were the champions League this season. All the four teams went, and then City went out in the semi-finals. Yeah. Liverpool in the final, Chelsea in the quarterfinals, and there's one team that lost to the junior brothers of Real Madrid. So, what do you mean by representing England? Well, I'll keep the bantering for later. It's nice to be back here. On the top four race, I have to be very frank and honest with you. I'm really disappointed with my Chelsea team. Can you remember there was a time we were going for the Premier League title? Of course. That dream fell apart. But you could still be pushing on. At the time, I was like, okay, I'm very sure no matter what happened, a consolation is a place for us in Europe. But we've held back, and now we're 4 points ahead of fourth place Arsenal. We could lose that if we could just play around. There are 4 more games in the season. It's possible to not qualify for the Champions League. It was so heartbreaking. But still, there's a consolation. We might go to it, but I don't want anything else from blue color. Blue is a color, obviously, and that's where we belong. All right, so we have both the blue corner and the red corner here. But I'll start with you, Etoro. Let's talk about your Manchester United team. Yeah. Of course, you said pointedly that it will be disastrous for your team not to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. And of course, you think your United team would give England quality representation. But he said that 4 teams qualify for the Champions League this season. The other 3 teams reached the knockout stages, but only your Manchester United team crashed out at the group stages. What do you make of that? And do you think that with the form last season, your team can do better if they qualify next season? Well, we actually struggled this particular campaign. I won't lie to you. That's the truth. We struggle starting from the lack of a top-notch manager, and we actually moved away from that. Lack of a top-notch manager? Well, Ole was actually a man that he didn't really understand the pedigree of what it means to be a United manager. And the players we had in the folds, and most of them, their mentality is actually down. So that was one of the problems, because aside from that, Chelsea wouldn't be here talking to us.
They won't be here talking to us. When you're
God.
talking about the UEFA champions, 3 times champions, we have been there before. We know what is
You
in
saw
there.
those champions on black and white, right?
Where's your black and white?
Did you see it on Color TV? Why can't you guys win things in our age? That's my question. You guys are always talking about things that happen during the post-colonial era.
We are working on it at this
area.
We are rebuilding at this point in time.
Top-notch coach. Mari, they talked about the same Ole being better than Frank Lampard. They compared him with the likes of Zinedine Zidane, how he discovered Fernandes, how he brought in Mason Greenwood, how he ripped where he did not so. I was just there laughing. I knew he was always bust out one day, but I wouldn't say Ole has been so terrible. It's just that Ralph Rangnick makes Ole look so good. That's the truth. Because the way he goes about, Man United fans are like, I wish you still had Ole in the team. But really right now, at this point, I don't know what is really the problem. Because even I'm not a Man United fan, but I'm confused. Talk more of a Man United fan. Where do you start from? So let me just listen to excuses. Oh, go on.
Well, he has said his own. He has said it. I will tell the truth. I'll tell you the truth this way. Most of the United players we have at this full do not understand what it means to be a United player.
But
they don't understand.
But you guys bought them. You spent
we
money
bought
on them.
Yeah, we bought them.
So
and
why
that
didn't
was
you
a
think about
mistake.
that?
And
Look
now
at Luis
we
Diaz
want to
with
make a
Liverpool.
change.
Look at Luis
You could see
look at
with
Diaz
this man,
with
new man
Liverpool.
coming to the club.
Liverpool bought
everything.
Diaz in just this winter. Okay, how long do you take Diaz to fit into the team? What's really the excuse?
Liverpool has a structure that actually fits well to them.
So
I mean, United players, when they come in, you get to see how these guys, they relax. They relax. They just feel as if everything is very comfortable. But away from that, when it comes to what it means, I mean, I didn't mean we're able to get players that understand the pedigree of Manchester United. We won't be here.
Well,
Man United's pedigree is not that at all.
One thing that, you know, I've heard you say all of this has been clearly you've just been making excuses for your Manchester United team. And then at the end of the day, you know, excuses will not win you trophies, will not take you to, you know, the UEFA Champions League. The Ole that you said was not a good coach took your team to 3 finals. So don't you think he was
3 finals without winning anyone?
Really?
I would have preferred Jose Mourinho to take up there. You went to 3 finals, 3 semi-finals, you can't even pick a single trophy.
This is the problem with
That's
Man
very
United
shameful.
itself. The hierarchy, the club, the
At this
fans
point
also,
in
they are
time, I
confused.
promise you,
Why do you sack Mourinho?
next season, you get to see what we are going to recruit. We are not going to go for
They
the
are always
average
like
England
this.
players.
Next season.
With a new manager coming on board, Eric Ten Hag, things are going to change for good.
You guys need every
Things are
12
going
hack,
to change.
13 hack. It might be worse than Ragnick. You never know.
But he says that you guys need not just 10 hacks, you guys need 12 hacks, 13 hacks. So that's, by the way, I'll come to you pointedly, you know, AJ. You made mention of, you know, Liverpool and the fact that you have a structure, the same players who come in and just hit the ground running. But you have a certain Lukaku in the team who is yet. He's been a total misfit at Chelsea. What do you make of that?
First of all, Liverpool structure, I think, has been in the last 3-4 years because they were building. And I think that building construction is always, let's say, 95% done right now. When Klopp came into that team in around 2015, there was a Liverpool team that I didn't even know what Liverpool were doing in the Premier League. At the time, they were always going to Europa League, if you can remember. Then they pushed their stakes higher, and then Champions League almost every season. And then they started running from the Premier League. They won the Champions League back.
How would your team spend £97.5 million on one
striker that
has not scored 15 goals this season?
Even if I was the owner of Chelsea, I wouldn't have a problem. I would take out the money. Remember when we won the Champions League? I still don't understand how we won the Champions League because we didn't really have that point man to score the goals. So when Kai Havertz scored that goal, I think that was really a very clear
you want to say something?
Well, talking about Lukaku, this same Lukaku, remember, was in United. And the Chelsea fans were like, come on, Lukaku, if he were to be in Chelsea,
he was a Chelsea player before.
He was a Chelsea player before, yes. You know, the Chelsea players will come on. I didn't mean he was here. We thought that Antonio Conte, when Antonio Conte was in charge of the club, I mean, things would have changed. Now they have the Lukaku in their full. They did the same thing when they had Ramadan Falcao. We had Ramadan Falcao. Falcao scored only 4 goals for United.
You know the funny thing?
Mourinho said when he comes to Chelsea, that he's going to change his life for good. How many goals? How many goals
do you know what Lukaku has done? Lukaku might not be so impressive this season, but I can point out this fact for you. Lukaku single-handedly won us the FIFA Club World Cup. Now beat that. Beat that. What has Mr. Jesse Lingard done for you guys? They have almost destroyed Lingard's career. Look at the fantastic season he had with West Ham. They just brought him and said, okay, take you off the bench for us. Now they took out Van der Beek. What is he doing there?
Now, before we talk about Jesse Lingard, I'll ask you guys pointedly. The Lukaku at United and the Lukaku at Chelsea, which Lukaku has been better?
I think the one at United.
Yeah, the one at United. First of all,
see?
that time, no one knew what any of them wanted. Now Lukaku went to Inter. His playing style was clear. We all knew what he was playing for. He waited for the ball. Give him the ball, he created something. He came to
why
Chelsea.
Is Chelsea not playing like that?
That's the question. Now he came to Chelsea. In the first 10 games, you can see that we played that way. He was scoring goals. Scored on his debut against Arsenal. He scored against Villa.
It's a normal thing for Lukaku to score himself. He has always been doing it on in all the teams. Aston Villa, Everton, any team is going to Inter Milan, Manchester, he will score. And at this point, when Lukaku came to Chelsea, people were like, Ronaldo, Lukaku is the best player in town. I mean, the talk in town, the jamborees about him.
That was what I'm going to.
He was in form.
First of all, Lukaku is one of the cause of his problems. First of all, why would you say what you said in that interview? If you remember that interview, it just broke everything. Because for me, I felt so bad when I read that. First of all, I couldn't believe it. Then I saw the source where it came from, Sky, and then it was so accurate. Lukaku, why would you come? It showed the weakness of a player, first of all, leaving Inter, coming to Chelsea, and claiming that it was not going so well for you when you knew that things could change. Now, if it wasn't going so well, that time the interview got released, he scored twice against Villa. He became he scored and won a penalty.
If things were not going well with him, why would your team sign him? If you guys, your team knew it was not going to be...
No, we knew, we thought it was going to be that well, and it was working out. But first of all, injury.
Has Lukaku worked out since then?
He worked out in the beginning, but right now it's not working out
since then.
A normal thing to work out in the beginning now. Lukaku anywhere, even if it's acquired United,
at Inter, he was working out fantastically. What you're seeing right now is the people that can play alongside him. We don't have that players. Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, these guys hold the ball. They prefer spreading out wide, and at the end of the day, Lukaku might not even get the ball. That's how Chelsea play. We're trying to play building out from the back. And when you try building out from the back, it's either sometimes they might get the ball from you, or it doesn't even get to the person that's waiting for the ball. So we need people like Nicolo Barella. You remember last time we were talking about Inter. So those kind of players, Brozovic, probably Arturo Vidal, those guys that give Lukaku the ball to do what he wants.
After spending £97.5 million in Lukaku, you still want to sign, splash the cash. Nicolo Barella is valued around £80 million.
I don't want to get Barella. I just want to get someone that can do what he does.
Now, let's talk about something interesting, guys. We understand, United have got more trophies than Chelsea, but in the last 5 years, do you think Chelsea has done enough to be placed in the same pedestal as Manchester United?
I don't think so. They just happen to be in
a very... when they go 15 years...
At this point, they just happen to be lucky at this point in time where United the management of United didn't really understand what it means, what United actually means. The structure was the problem.
You guys are sleeping, right?
The structure was... I will agree with that. We're sleeping at the point.
It's not only Chelsea that have been successful. City's been there. Even Arsenal has won trophies then. So what's wrong with United?
How many trophies
did
Arsenal win?
One big old Arsenal win? They won 2. You all win nothing. Okay.
We won the Europa League now. We won the Europa League. What are you talking? We won the Carabao Cup.
Still tormenting them till today. Funny enough, the last time they almost made it close to win a trophy with that last season was against Chelsea in the 2018 Cup final. They lost it. So, ever since then, they've been so close. And whenever they come out, they'll tell you something like, "We will win when we want to." These are always the big excuses they'll give you.
Let's talk about United fans, because United fans have been filled with so much, futuristic tendencies. They are always wanting to do it next season and the next season and the next season. So when will things change for Manchester United?
I promise you, by next season, things will change.
Close to end
things
time.
will change.
Things
will be gradually. As long as we start making the right decision in Man U.
He says close to the end time.
That's the truth. Even the man that's supposed to come, first of all, everything. He lost his first cup final.
That's just a fallacy. Because I believe that
everything is not even a Man United manager, but he lost the cup final. Secondly,
it does not matter.
First of all, the same manager said, now this is where the confusion is becoming communicable. The first time, the same manager said, Ronaldo is not a plan. It's not my club. It's not a plan for the future. Now the same person comes out and says, Ronaldo should stay.
No manager in his right senses.
Why did he say it the first time? Why did he say it the first time?
No manager, a man who has scored 24 goals
this campaign. He also said that Donny van de Beek not playing for Man United, or not even being a starting 11, not even being in the club right now, is unthinkable. That he was a player that was so close to winning the Ballon d'Or in his time when they reached the Champions League semi-finals. He said a lot of things.
The wrong set of managers. Ole didn't really see the prospect in this young man, Donny van de Beek.
So why has your team not been able to sign a good manager? Now, what do you classify as a good manager?
Okay, I'm talking about a good manager, a man who could actually read the games and understand what it means to be a coach. That's why I still favor Jose Mourinho ahead of Ole.
Why just sack him? This is the question. Why did you sack him?
The players turned against him. The dressing room, he couldn't control the dressing room again.
Was Mourinho's dismissal justifiable?
Well, it wasn't justifiable at that point in time. The players, the likes of Paul Pogba had issues with them. Just Mourinho, his ego. And that was one of the major problems that actually led to just Mourinho leaving the club. But aside from that, in the past 5 years, who has won the trophy for us? Jose Mourinho.
Mari, I'll tell you this authoritatively.
We were United's problem of the boss,
is not
but he was
outside.
Able to pick trophies.
United's problem is not outside. It's not about the managers, the people who come in. That problem is inside. I'll take away the captain armband for now. Now, do you notice that Man United is the club that has the most support in England? It's not about being so lovely as the best team. No. Most of their ex-players work in the press. Talk about post goals. These guys don't let the club take decisions. Look at Mr. Harry Maguire, Sir Harry Maguire, I'll call him that. It's been fantastic for us, not for my United fans. They influenced that signing. Every time in the Premier League showroom, you'll be like, if Leicester keep a clean sheet, Maguire has been fantastic. They will not look at Johnny Evans. They will not look at any other player. It's not about not hyping. It's their job. It's their league. But the way they make it sound, they will recommend him to Man United. And when United follow that, bam! When he doesn't perform, they kill him.
Thank you very much, AJ. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation right here. And of course, we are streaming live on Facebook, Spectrum TV. NG, just go there and drop a comment. I will read your comment in the course of the show. Let's just go for a short break. The banter continues. Stick around.
Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois!
Because the Sport City played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
Louis Gasset, it's his corner now. The cross, back post, Dubois is there. Straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois!
Because the Sport City played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
Louis Gasset, it's his corner now. The cross, back post, Dubois is there. Straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois!
Because the Sport City played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
Louis Gasset, it's his corner now. The cross, back post, Dubois is there. Straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois!
Because the Sport City played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
A knowledge of global businesses, economic activities, a new wave of the stock market, forex market, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs creates new dynamics towards emerging market millionaires and billionaires. From the dot-com era to the oil booms, the fundamental news drives the market. This is Business 360, taking you to the business around the globe. Join us from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. weekdays, exclusive on Spectrum Television. Business 360, your prism to world businesses.
Nigerian police force, which is the only one allowed by grossly abused. Our governors have to share police powers with the president as stipulated by the constitution. We do not have a federal government police force. We have the Nigerian police force, which shall be administered, organized, and supervised by the Nigerian police force.
No, my lord, I want to say something. I want to say something here. Perhaps it might also enlarge the scope of people who should be invited here for examination. My Lord, if we cannot find those who literally murdered Abiola, who are those people who could be said to be the beneficiaries of the death of Abiola?
Rogers has linked you with some of the killings he did.
He never did.
He linked you with the attempted murder of Hebrew.
He did not.
My Lord, the Matters Council is leading the evidence in our matters.
Is this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my Lord, but we can't be talking about cases which are in court,
Is
my Lord.
this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my Lord. These cases are in court, my Lord. I'm just reminding your Lordship.
My Lord, sorry, my Lord, I think I'll be in cross-examination.
Legally Speaking, a program that deals with legal issues and questions we face as citizens of this amazing country, Nigeria. Legally Speaking. Join us every
Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
for Legally Speaking.
It is corner now. The cross, back post. Dubois is there, straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léon Dubois.
Because the Sport Kansas City played the simple ball. Dia in for her tunnel. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
So good to know that you're still here with us. It is still Battle of the Fans, a place where football fans banter for who is better. My name is Isaac. Isaac, you can always call me Marizone. I've got the Chelsea and the Manchester United fan with me today, and they've been talking and rumbling about who is better than who and who would qualify for the UEFA Champions League. This is it. By the way, I've got Toure Nyang, who is a Manchester United fan, and of course Abraham Joseph, who is a Chelsea fan, and he's been hitting it hot at Toure since the start of the show. But I'll come to you guys. Let's just get into the discussion. Well, Chelsea won the UEFA Champions League last season.
Say it again, please.
Well, Chelsea won the Champions League last season, and of course they went all the way to the quarterfinals. And in that game, they were leading Real Madrid by 3 goals to 0, but they just could not, hold it down. Moreover, they've suffered poor form. I mean, at some points they were 9-10 points ahead of 4th place team, but they're just 3 points ahead of Tottenham Hotspur. Do you think that your Chelsea team can still qualify for the Champions League with the poor form?
We have Wolves to play at home.
Yeah, later today.
We also have Leeds. Leeds, I think, is the only away game, and then they see Watford, Leicester at home. So, maximum of 3 games, we should get at least 6 out of those 9 points, and that should be enough, because it will be a story that
is it that easy? 6 out of 9 points?
No, it's not too easy. I'm looking at a broken Leicester and a Wolverhampton Wanderers team that already took us out in the first leg, so we should make up for that.
Your Chelsea team have got just 1 win in how many? 3 games?
Yeah,
they've been very poor. So what's the assurance?
Well, towards the end of the season, it's a normal Chelsea thing. I've seen it for 3-4 seasons. You can start the season so brightly, and maybe as the season starts winding up, we're also bright. But as it starts going down, it's how it was last season. So I think this season we've learned from last season. Last season we needed Tottenham Hotspur's miracle, beat Leicester City for us to qualify. Okay, Chelsea fans won't tell you, but we actually thanked Tottenham Hotspur fans last season, because if not for that victory, probably we ended up winning the Champions League, but we still, if we didn't win, we would have not been qualified. So we can do it this season.
So Etoro, do you think that Chelsea can qualify for the Champions League?
Well, their destiny is in their hands if they truly want to qualify for the Champions League and they know what it means to play in the Champions League. But
do they know what it means to play in the Champions League?
Winning 2 trophies to them, they will feel like we were former champions. We won it last season. Come on, we can do it again.
And then they'll get complacent.
They get so complacent. But all the same, I would love to see maybe Chelsea if they want to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. But
if they want to.
If they want to qualify, if they know what it means to be right there. But I believe that United is always the big team to be there in the UEFA Champions League.
Why are you talking like this? We made it to the quarterfinals. You saw the fight we put up with Santiago Bernabeu. I can promise you, if United luckily made it,
why didn't Chelsea qualify for the semi-finals? It took they had 10 minutes.
That's it.
They had 10 minutes to qualify.
It's not the Chelsea thing. You can notice the same thing happened against City. It's just a Madrid thing this season.
Really?
I wouldn't really blame us, because you led by 3 goals to 0. Now, average coaches will want to pack the ball so hard that there's no other way for Madrid. No, Madrid will still come at you. That Bernabeu Stadium has one hidden synergy. I don't know where it's coming from.
Is he not making excuses?
It's not excuses. The same thing happened to City.
I mean,
it happened to
that
City.
match,
It happened
you
to
get to see
PSG.
these Chelsea
I can
fans
bet
talk.
you that if that was
I
Man
have
United,
somebody on my
they will
street.
concede
They were like,
7.
come on, who
They
is
will concede
Madrid?
7.
Who is Vinicius Junior? We cannot stop. Who is carrying Benzema?
Look at him.
That's Chelsea fans
As
talking.
the Chelsea fans talk, I mean, I was like,
We
come on.
stopped them
The
literally.
underrated
It was the last
actually
5
get
minutes of the
Madrid.
game.
so much. When they want.
How can we underrate Madrid when we lost to Madrid? Are you listening to yourself? We lost the first leg.
I'm talking about before the game. The way you guys.
Is that not the same way they talked about Let's Go Madrid?
When
When a simple Renan Lodi that didn't even know who that guy was. Just
where did they go
first
from
leg,
there?
second leg.
Where did they go from there?
They made it to the next round.
Which next round? And how did they?
That doesn't concern you. They got money. You
Right,
guys lost.
gentlemen.
You guys lost.
Let's keep it calm. Let's I'll ask you pointedly first up. How well do you know your club, Ettore Young?
So much. I've been a United
Are
fan,
you sure?
right? But brother, I've been in United
sure?
for a long time. No
I
matter
think
the crisis that
someone
we have
mistook
been
this guy.
going
They told this
through,
guy
that
to go.
we actually
They
been
told this
going
guy
through.
he's going to Man City.
I
He
tell
didn't
you
know.
the truth.
He
I've been
didn't
in-
know.
even when
He didn't know.
I've
He
been
didn't know.
very
They told he was
tough.
going to
I've
Man
been a
City.
United
So
fan,
he mistakenly
and I've
joined
always
Man
loved
United.
for a very
Right,
long
take
time.
heart.
Nothing can make
God
me
will help
to
you.
leave United. Even if you go to relegation, I'll still be in United. Trust
sure.
me, brother.
All right.
You know why United is there?
AJ, I'll ask you. How well do you know Chelsea?
Please. I know Chelsea better than what this guy thinks he know Man United.
Really?
Oh, really?
I know Chelsea.
All right, so I'll ask you both 5 questions respectively about your clubs, and you tell me how much you know your club. I'll
Right,
start
let's
with
make
you.
it 6 questions. Just honor his place.
Oh, come on, come on.
I like the game. Come on. It's
Come
good.
on. All right, so it's game on right now. I'll start with you, Ettore Young. As a Manchester United fan, let's get the questions coming in. Who scored the first goal in the Manchester United's home game against Arsenal in the Premier League in the 2019-20 season?
Bruno Fernandes.
Really?
Yeah.
1920.
Try.
Man,
You can't guess, bro.
I don't like watching Man United games, but let me just think. Rashford.
Just give it a try.
Rashford.
Well, you both are wrong. It's actually Scott McTominay. He scored the first
Fernandes
goal
wasn't around
for
that
United
time. Can you imagine?
in the first home game against Arsenal in the 2019-20 season. All right, so I'll come to you, AJ, as a Chelsea fan right now. Let's talk about some Chelsea stories. Frank Lampard played for which club before he joined Chelsea?
West Ham.
West Ham. That was fast. Thank you very much, too. Kudos to you right there. Now, let's talk about you, Ettore Young. Second question. Between the 2008-2012 season, one player scored hat-trick per season as a United player. Who was that player?
Okay. 2008.
Yeah, 2008-2012 season, one hat-trick per season.
Well, it won't be any other player apart from Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You're wrong.
How?
AJ, try.
I would say that. Well, okay. Let me just go with Dimitar Berbatov.
Dimitar Berbatov is the correct answer. He scored a hat-trick per season from the 2008-2012 season.
I think this place is hot.
So it means he knows your team more than you.
This place is hot. You need fans.
Oh, we're getting there.
All right, so the next question, AJ, as a Chelsea fan, Michael Ballack played his international game in 1999. For which country? Germany. That was simple, of course.
That's simple.
So 2 questions correct, Ettore. 2 questions wrong. Let's get back to you, Ettore Young, for the third question. In the 2009-2010 season, Man United finished second in the league table. Who finished first?
2009?
Yeah, 2010 season.
2009-2010 season. Well,
your team finished second. Which team finished first?
Well, it's going to be... I give it to Chelsea.
Chelsea won the league title that particular season, and United finished second. You're correct. Thank you very much. Let's go to you, AJ, for the 4th question. Who was the manager of Chelsea from 1995 to 1999?
Why, this is suicide.
Just try.
Okay. 1995 to
1999. Just try. There's no
Abramovich
harm in
era.
trying. That's the pre-Abramovich era.
Ranieri.
Claudio Ranieri. Let me give you another chance.
Wow. Bates. Ken Bates.
Okay. You're wrong. So I'll give it to Ettore. Try, Ettore.
Well, let me just...
Now.
I know. What concerns me with Chelsea? Nothing concerns me with
just
Chelsea.
try.
Well, I would like to try.
Yeah.
Maybe it was at the time where we had 1990 what? 1995.
1995 to 1999.
Your old glory days.
1999.
Think. Around those your glory days. That time you were still a club. Check.
you know, I was really carried away by my club victory.
Oh,
so I might not actually look at my brothers,
my
junior brother's record. I might not actually look at it.
In other words, no idea. His name was Ruud Gullit. He was a coach with Chelsea from 1995 to 1999. He was a Dutchman. Right, Ituro? And I'll come to you right now for the fourth question rather. What club did United sign Valencia from?
Antonio Valencia?
Yes, Antonio Valencia.
All right. From West Ham.
West Ham United?
Yeah.
Really? Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're wrong. AJ, try.
At this point, I don't even know again. What's up now? Why you like this?
Try.
Well, if you say West Ham, then I'll go with Aston Villa.
Aston Villa. Well, you both are wrong. He was signed from Wigan Athletic to join Manchester United. Let's get to the last question. Chelsea raided Leicester City for which of their title, for which of the players?
Yes, sir.
Chelsea raided Leicester City for which of their players?
Raided?
Yes. They signed the player from Leicester City.
Is there a particular season I can get there?
No.
Chelsea have signed 2 players from Leicester.
That in after Leicester's title winning season.
Oh, okay. N'Golo Kante.
N'Golo Kante, correct. All right, it's a final question for you. Right, so what year did Alex Chapman Ferguson take over as the manager of United?
Very simple now. 1986, my brother.
1986, you got that correct.
Black and white times.
Thank you very much. All right, so finally, before we begin to wrap up, this segment of the show, in a minute or two from now, we'll go to the Facebook page and get some comments there. But right now, your Chelsea play Wolves later today. What are your expectations from that game? Bearing in mind, of course, that Chelsea need to win their next 3 games in order to secure qualification for the UEFA Champions League next season.
It's never been easy to play Wolves. This young man here can testify to that. It was never easy.
I was able to overcome that, brother.
You were not.
I was able to overcome. And I know there was a time I was struggling against Wolverhampton Wanderers, but I was able to overcome it at the end of it. I was able to overcome it. What are you telling me?
You lost. What's the meaning of overcome?
Yes, I know there used to be a time when it was very difficult.
You're forgetting it.
I'm not forgotten.
No, like,
there used to be
overcome?
Right,
I know.
Chelsea Wolves quickly, AJ.
We need to just do what we need to do quickly. Score a goal, try score another one. The last time we played Wolves this season, that Chelsea team was so bad. Why? Injuries, COVID. That time, Thomas Tuchel made an appeal to the Premier League that we needed a break because if you can remember that time, Arsenal and there were some teams that had COVID-19 infections in camp. They got rest, they got excuses. But I don't know what happened.
Your team has a chance for redemption, so there shouldn't be time for excuses.
Now we have almost everyone available except Ben Chilwell and Callum Hudson-Odoi. So we need to get what we need right now. 3 points. I wouldn't go out to say 4 goals, 5 goals, because this guy does it every time. I just pains him at the end of the day. So I think 2-1 probably.
Do you think Chelsea can defeat Wolves later today?
Well, looking at that particular game, it's going to be a big game for them. I know Wolves are very stubborn, but Chelsea, like I said earlier, they said they want to be in the UEFA Champions League.
They say they want to be.
They want to be.
Okay.
So well, they have, like I said, they have their destiny in their hands. So Wolverhampton Wanderers might be tough.
Destiny?
My brother, I'm talking about yours. Leave my destiny. I'm going to solve my destiny when the time comes. When the time comes. So by this point in time, Wolverhampton Wanderers can actually give them a good one for their money. But
do you think Chelsea can win?
Well, I will actually want to give it to Chelsea at this point in time. I would love to see my brothers progress.
You're being very fair.
All right, your brothers.
My junior
brothers.
Don't
try it. We don't want it. We don't want it. Don't do.
All right, so your Chelsea team, your Manchester United team, rather, of course, play Brighton later today as well. Now, Brighton have been giant killers all season. Do you think that with the way United are crumbling in terms of form, that they can defeat Brighton?
Trashing. I'm not trashing. We are going to
trash. Say it again.
Trashing today. I mean, you'll be wondering where the goals are going to come from. But as far as Cristiano Ronaldo is a part of, not own goals. Harry Maguire is nowhere to be found. I know you use Harry Maguire.
What?
But Harry Maguire should not be
the most expensive defender.
I know. I agree with you. The most expensive defender.
Are you satisfied with Harry Maguire's performance at United?
I will be very honest with you. I mean, Harry Maguire has been a very eyesore for this particular campaign.
And
now I'm happy that I'm not a part of the team that is
linked to Barcelona.
Linked to which Barcelona? Which Barcelona?
Even before my
How did you feel when your team signed Maguire?
Well,
the next Nemanja Vidic.
Well,
when you realized he was signed for £80 million,
yes,
he helped Leicester City qualify.
The media portrayed him to look like the next savior for United. The media actually portrayed him to be like a next savior.
Say that again.
I said we can buy form for presidential candidates with that money. We can split it and buy
too much money that we have. You should not be here talking to us now. We have a stadium. What are you telling me?
So
do you have a stadium?
Just have a stadium.
It's a borrowed stadium, my friend from Fulham. What are you telling me?
Stadium.
It's a borrowed stadium.
Located in Fulham. That's the problem with them. They don't want to. They don't want to read.
Do you have the stadium? And now that your Roman and Ibrahimovic
this is always a consolation. You see, this is
it's not a consolation. It's our pride. It's what we have. We know that nobody can chase us away.
Stadium, maybe that stadium where they flow now 4.
It does not matter. It does not 4. Yes, because we are in a poor run of form at this point in time.
Oh, that's the excuse.
Yes, that's the excuse. We are in a very poor run of form.
Let's use this means to justify all my United fans that use it as consolation. Chelsea have a stadium. Their problem is that
they do not have a stadium. That stadium does not belong to them. The owners can come out only and chase them out from there.
You can tell
they're just a tenant in that stadium.
One thing we know is that Chelsea Stadium is called the Stamford Bridge, and it's located in London, particularly Fulham. Yeah.
Is it owned by them?
That is their it's owned by
Chelsea. It's a rented stadium now. What are you telling me? It's a rented stadium. It's a rented stadium, brother.
The rented stadium.
Oh, you need to read this. Read this and get acquainted with this.
At any point in time,
a real United fan knows the truth.
Now, will the rented stadium, will the rented stadium, prevent them from winning trophies?
Well, I think it does not prevent them from winning trophies, but I'm telling you the truth. The pride of winning at your home, which is your own stadium, you are so
comfortable. How are you sure Man United own their own stadium? Who told Man United own their own stadium?
That's our stadium. We built the stadium.
So now Chelsea don't have stadium.
We do. You don't have a stadium. It's a rented stadium.
Your stadium is rented. What's the evidence? It's not rented.
It's not rented.
Who told you it's your stadium?
It's not rented. It's our stadium.
None of you have, guys, gentlemen, none of you have, the sea of all the papers to show for each other. But let's talk about your Chelsea team. Of course, United have won more Premier League titles than Chelsea. Is that not enough reason for your Chelsea team to respect Manchester United?
Yes. In a football sense, yes.
Thank you.
But in Nigeria, that will never happen. As I'm concerned now, in this place, it will never happen. If you see a Man United fan viewing center, this is how they are. They are like this. If you watch a match, they are like this. They don't open their mouth. I'm telling you,
why don't they open their mouth?
What do you go talk? What do you want to say? You're playing. A team is playing Brighton. You are like, you know, win.
We know.
He says that your United team have given up hope on the team.
Well, we have not given up hope on the
fans rather.
Yes, there was a time. Remember, there was a time Liverpool used to be at this struggling stage.
My brother, see excuse.
And they were able to build themselves.
Why? Fans
They make changes to a lot of things. They make changes to a lot of things.
Remember, like their game against Brentford, they planned. Is it a kind of a protest outside? You know, this Man United fans, I tell you, they're confused. They planned the protest. United scored the first goal. They no one come out. They scored the second one. They no go out. They scored the third goal. They now turn the placards, keep on the floor, started chanting United. People that wanted to go and protest.
It's for the love of the team. The love of the team.
If they were losing,
the love of the team. The love of the team.
But if they were losing,
if your team is winning,
you're not thinking straightforward. First of all, the same people.
Your team is winning.
When they played Arsenal, they held placards that will spell Glazers out. But someone that was
we have always wanted Glazers
someone was supposed to stand.
We always wanted.
You know how they always do this thing. Someone was holding L. Another person was holding A.
As a representative of the United fan, do you still want the Glazer family to go out?
Well, definitely. I'm
one of those people. Why?
I think the Glazer family have always been bringing us. Now they have actually bringing us back one. I mean, a lot of.
But they've spent a lot of money.
It's not just about the money. Where are the money taken us to? Where are the money taken us to?
They bought the most expensive defender. They got Cristiano now.
These are overhyped set of players that
they've been looking for Sancho ever since I was in primary school. They got him.
They got Sancho.
Finally got him.
Now, let me let you understand something. Well, the Glazer family is one of the reasons why Manchester United is very sentimental.
But you know, under their care, they won the Champions League too.
Yeah, we won, and things have changed. They are very sentimental these days. They get to see. There was a time they had Koulibaly.
I need to write these excuses down.
There was the time they had to try and sign Koulibaly, but they still opted to go for an English overhyped player.
It's now overhyped because he's not playing well.
Right from when he was, and I
asked you earlier, as a United fan, when Maguire was signed for £80 million, what came to your mind when the first time?
I had mixed feelings. Because
why do you have mixed feelings?
I look at Leicester City.
He was coming on the back of a fantastic performance in the English national team.
In which team? Leicester City.
In the World Cup.
An average team.
No, do you know he's still?
Yes, yeah, okay. In the World Cup,
he's the highest goal scoring defender with the Three Lions.
Okay, that's the Three Lions. I mean, let me explain something. We have Harry Maguire of Leicester City. We have Harry Maguire of Three Lions, and we have Harry Maguire.
Are they three different players?
To me, when he's in these different folds, he actually comes out with different attributes of himself.
Let's talk about something. Let's talk about something. Harry Maguire performed at Leicester City, performs at England. But what happens when it comes to United? Don't you think that it's not a Maguire problem, it's a United problem?
That's what I've been saying all the show. Now, the price tag is another problem. I'll put you into this fact. Now, when Jack Grealish came to City newly this season, he said this, I think some weeks back, that his first training session was really something that he will never forget. Why? Because when he came in, he was afraid of touching the ball, afraid of juggling, afraid of trying to pass. Because if he made a mistake, the City players will be like, he can't even pass the ball and we paid 100 million. It's a psychological mindset. Now, defenders, I think that before Maguire was Van Dijk, that was the most expensive. Now, how is it turning out? Van Dijk is a wall, is a block. Now, it's not English. That's one thing. Now, here's an Englishman that plays so well. 80 million. Mary, even if it was me, 80 million, sometimes I'll be afraid because if I do something wrong, it will affect me.
Is afraid of
it's psychology, first of all. And then the captain armband. Why would you give a captain armband to a new player? Because it's so expensive? Someone who deserves that would be David De Gea. I'm not a United fan, but that man has tried.
Well, Marizona, this is where I talked about the sentiment. The sentiment, because the sentiment was too much. Why would you give him the captaincy ban? And that is the problem. It pulls him down. Harry Maguire was not a kind of player that United would have gotten at that point in time. But because of the structure, the sentiment in the club, they believe that we want an English boys team. You know, we have Marcus Rashford.
So you're not in support of the Glazer family?
Ever since that incident, I've not really been in support of the Glazer family.
So who should be United's best, most appropriate centre-back partnership?
Well, I think at this point in time...
Samson Barigo.
Eric...
he's a good player. He's a good player.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
He just mentioned an acquired United player.
He's good, but at this point, I was thinking of Eric Bailly, but his problem is majorly injury. Injury has
How many matches does he play?
That's the thing. That's what I'm talking. It's majorly injury, and now United, they had a chance. Like I said, Koulibaly would have been a good option for United to go as a centre back. They said no. They want an English boy.
What do you think all of this is messing after that?
Well, I know it's actually messing after that, but at this point in time, we want a structural change.
I wouldn't see already for not going
when
for Koulibaly.
Eric Ten Hag,
Koulibaly was 29 when he was going for him. Now
it doesn't matter. It doesn't. At that point in time, he was still in good
because
form.
the promise you need players who can give you a long span of their time.
Maguire
was
can
so
he actually give you a long span?
So fresh, so everything.
Can he actually give you a long span? Harry Maguire is not the player that we actually suit into that Man U, and the price.
He doesn't suit.
I'll tell you why Maguire.
The prop is bigger than him.
Is that the conversation now? He doesn't suit it.
This is why Maguire performs
bigger than him. Harry Maguire is an average player.
This is why Maguire
so coming into Manchester United was really big for him.
Is Harry an average player?
No, he's not.
Why would you say
so?
So?
For an average.
Then come and get him. No. Come and get him. Let him do the same thing that he do with Lukaku. No, you say he's an average. Come and get him. He's a big star. He's a big star.
Barcelona want him. Don't worry. But I'm sure you guys love him.
An average team.
Look at him. Same player plays for England, and they went to the final of the Euros.
All right, guys.
They would have won it. So what's your excuse?
They would have won it. Why didn't they win it?
All right, guys. Let's go for a short break. We'll talk about this and so much more, and then take a few comments when we come back from this very short break. It's a heated debate in the studio, and of course, the fans are bantering. It's interesting. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It is corner now. The cross, back post. Dubois is there, straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois.
Because the rules were against it, he played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
It is corner now. The cross, back post. Dubois is there, straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léo Dubois.
Because the rules were against it, he played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
A knowledge of global businesses, economic activities, a new wave of the stock market, forex market, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs creates new dynamics towards emerging market millionaires and billionaires. From the dot-com era to the oil booms, the fundamental news drives the market. This is Business 360, taking you to the business around the globe. Join us from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. weekdays, exclusive on Spectrum Television. Business 360, your prism to world businesses.
Nigerian police force, which is the only one allowed by grossly abused. Our governors have to share police powers with the president as stipulated by the constitution. We do not have a federal government police force. We have the Nigerian police force, which shall be administered, organized, and supervised by the Nigerian police force.
No, my lord, I want to say something. I want to say something here. Perhaps it might also enlarge the scope of people who should be invited here for examination. My lord, if we cannot find those who literally murdered Abiola, who are those people who could be said to be the beneficiaries of the death of Abiola?
Rogers has linked you with some of the killings he did.
He never did.
He linked you with the attempted murder of Hebrew.
He did not.
My lord, the Matters Council is leading the evidence in our matters.
Is this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my lord, but we can't be talking about cases which are in court,
Is
my lord.
this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my lord. These cases are in court, my lord. I'm just reminding your lordship.
My lord, sorry, my lord, I think I'll be in cross-examination.
Legally Speaking, a program that deals with legal issues and questions we face as citizens of this amazing country, Nigeria. Legally Speaking. Join us every
Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
for Legally Speaking.
Louis Gasset is his corner now. The cross, back post, Dubois is there, straight back in. Oh, it's a goal! Léon Dubois!
Because the scored against he played the simple ball. Dia in for Hurtado. An all-timer from Eric Hurtado.
Welcome back. It is still the place where football fans banter for who is better. Welcome to Battle of the Fans. Of course, so we've had a heated debate, of course, within Chelsea and Manchester United, and we switched off things a little bit. It's now Arsenal against Manchester United, and I have an Arsenal fan. He came here before, but he's back again to banter with an Arsenal fan. His name is Unwana Idongeset. He's a man that has so much controversies around him. The controversial. Welcome to the show.
I always make good cameo appearances, and I was just there, and I heard Manchester United fans sounding happy. For what reason? You got thumped. Was it 3-1 against Arsenal?
Yeah.
3-1, yeah. And you still have hopes of what? Europa League? No.
And the first leg I trashed you 3-2.
It does not matter.
It does not matter.
I am fourth.
Well,
You are, is it sixth? So no, it's
Mary,
sixth.
at
Yeah?
this point in time, I want to welcome my wife. This is our wife. Yes,
Oh,
it's my wife.
like-
My brother, how are you?
No,
Shake me.
it's good.
How are you? How
I'll
you
see
doing?
you in the Europa League when you are playing against Jerusalem.
My brother, you may actually drop the Europa League. So don't actually laugh at me. Tottenham is there at your neck.
What is Tottenham? What is a Tottenham?
Okay,
No
you're talking
trophy.
about what is a Tottenham.
No
Any
trophies.
point in time, Tottenham could actually comes up and take the slot.
Okay, yeah. Any point in time, then Wolves can actually come up and overtake you because you're gapping them with what? Is it 5 points now? 5 points.
Come on.
55 points.
We are trashing Brighton today, and when we do that, we go
You
ahead
know.
of
The
them.
funny thing is, Man United fans can't seem to comprehend the fact that Brighton actually play good football.
I know they play. Every team plays good
and
football.
Man U play terrible football. Man United.
So
Man
he's
United,
telling me that Brighton plays good football. Are you telling me that Arsenal do not play good football? Is that, are you
Arsenal
trying to say?
plays. We play good football.
We do.
That will show you our progress.
Mention the names
We
of players in Arsenal,
We
please.
started. That is the problem with Arsenal now. I enjoy my Arsenal team.
Oh, you enjoy the
because
Arsenal
we have
team?
young players. We
Young
build our
what?
team against
With no future.
With no future. How? You have
they have a future?
You have this Lingard. What
My-
future does
my
he
brother-
have?
my brother-
You have
my
Maguire.
brother-
What future does he have? You
Well,
have Martial.
I will still
you
stand
send,
by-
you send Martial on loan, and he now turns Sevilla into a very average team. They started
He's
losing
not-
all the matches he played.
So Martial turned Sevilla to an average team.
Very, very average. You saw Sevilla were actually
Sevilla
challenging
were not actually doing
Madrid.
well.
So
They were
at this
challenging-
point in time, we don't need
Etoro, what has Martial contributed to Sevilla?
Well, not really that much. I mean, we just wanted to let.
No, see,
to
in life,
borrow some of our
there's
players,
nothing
some of
and
our average
something.
players.
You know what?
Life,
Like I said,
nothing and something.
like I talk about with the Chelsea fans, I said most of our players are average. So we had to borrow some of them.
Most of United's players are average.
At this point in time, they're average.
Really?
Yeah, I'm saying the truth.
Why you shooting yourself in the foot?
No. For you to actually get the fact, well, I just want people to understand that why we are not doing well is because most of our players are average.
That is never the reason
And
the club cannot perform. That is never because at the start of the season, United had players. The media was like, "This is the best United squad in the past 10 years."
That was the media talking. That was the media,
and
they will always talk every season.
Listen,
they get to see the same thing.
Listen, you said you stay where they are United fans. In my house, we have 3 United fans there, and every morning they come to me and like, "Uwana, we have Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford. Rashford had 28 goals
of course
last season."
Now let's talk about something. He's mentioned 3 key names. Ronaldo, he's a 6-time Ballon d'Or winner.
That guy is bigger than the club. He should be very
let's
mindful of the
talk
way
about something.
And he's 6.
No, let's talk about something.
It does not matter. He has more goals now. What are you talking about?
Something. Ronaldo, Rashford, Jadon Sancho, of course, Bruno Fernandes. Are these names average players?
Well, most of them, I tell you, Bruno Fernandes was actually doing very well. You saw him when he actually came.
Is he an average player?
Well, like I said,
Ronaldo an average player?
No. I said most.
Lie to yourself now.
Most. You could actually pick point players of this particular campaign that are doing well, and you could see. Normally, they brought out this EA Premier League season of the team of the year, and 2 United players made it to the team. Who are they?
Last season.
Bruno Fernandes.
You know
Bruno
that,
Fernandes
you know
and
that
Cristiano Ronaldo.
How many Arsenal players made it to the?
Nobody.
Let me tell you this.
Why?
Who should
the
be
main?
there?
That is not the main
Tomiyasu?
one. That is not the main one. The main one is the PFA players of the season. That is the main
there
one.
will still be who do you even think will make into the level?
Smith
Rowe? Okay. Now you think your Bruno Fernandes has done better than Smith Rowe this season? How many goals and assists does he have? How many? You check his rating. His past 10 games: 5.4, 6.1,
Smith Rowe
6.1.
is just a player for now.
That is the
How
point.
long could he actually keep to this form? Bruno has always been on good form, but things have not been working well at this point in time.
If you have a good squad, the atmosphere around that squad should be brilliant. But when you have fans like these, you play one bad game.
I thought you said you have a good squad.
We have a good squad actually. I'm not saying United have a good squad, but now the fans around that particular club, you play one bad game, Maguire out, Bruno out, Ronaldo is a problem, he should be benched. Sancho, 95 million, why is he playing like this? Rashford has a problem, take him out of the squad. Lingard, bring him back in, leave him out. That is the problem around this club. Because
there's so much confusion in the team.
In the team, that's the problem, because in my defense, Maguire is a good player. You watch him against...
Oh, Maguire is a good player. You watch him, come and get him. We want you. Come and get him. How much you want?
You take your cup and you drink with your cup. Don't disturb
Come and get him. You won't hurry Maguire. You just said he's a good player. Come and get him for me now. Help
you
me
watch
out.
Maguire, you go at Leicester. Maguire was brilliant. He was playing as a GMF.
Because he's an average team.
No.
Leicester is an average team. Where are they now?
Side that won
why didn't? Okay, at that point in time, where was Arsenal?
That won the league.
No.
He was never part of that team. He was never a part of that team.
I'm trying to set these points now. He was in this team that won the league. So now you can't.
No, he was not in the team that won the league. He wasn't there. He wasn't there.
You're understanding my point. He never played in that title league, but he was in this team
that won the league.
That is to show you now that no team is average. The atmosphere makes the team average.
Really?
Look at Arsenal at the beginning of the season.
Then when he came to United, he couldn't perform.
Let me land. Beginning of the season, the Arsenal fans now, even me included, we had this kind of feeling that we need to have this poor season. The first match, we were watching the match with one eye closed. We lost against Brentford. We lost woefully.
That was the first match of the season.
First match of the season, and we never scored. We went the second one, we lost. We went to Chelsea, we lost without any goal. And now you could get that feeling that okay, this season we're going to finish 11, 6, 12. And then I now saw this meme, and someone now said, Arsenal fans, the thing that help us, we have no hope. We don't try to look forward. We don't try to say, okay, next season is going to be our season like some people in red. Next season after that is going to be our season.
We have nothing to do.
What do we do?
Let's talk about Arsenal. Of course, they are still a long way off of the top 4 chase. I mean, they have a few points behind Tottenham Hotspur. Do you think that with a few games remaining, your Arsenal team can still qualify for that top 4?
Arsenal are in the top 4 right now. 3 points behind Chelsea, and Tottenham are a point below us. So, looking at the games, we have Tottenham, and then and Tottenham have Liverpool. So I don't see Tottenham beating Liverpool. The highest they can get is a draw from that game. With the way they play against this Liverpool fast tempo,
So you think Arsenal can qualify?
Arsenal can qualify, and I see Arsenal topping Chelsea. Because right now Chelsea are in this poor run of form, and they can't get anything out of their...
You think Arsenal can top Chelsea?
Arsenal can top Chelsea,
do you think Arsenal can qualify for the Champions League?
Well, these guys are both failures. So what do you expect them? Any
you went to the
failure
Champions League this season, what did you do?
It's not about Arsenal. I don't have issue with Chelsea.
But United went to the Champions League this season.
Yeah, we went to the UEFA. I'm talking about Arsenal. Since the year 2016-2017 campaign.
That was the last time they qualified.
They qualified for the... No, what are you going to do there?
How many trophies have you
had?
No, how many trophies have you gotten in the past 5 years?
My brother, how many trophies have you gotten?
5.
5. Which 5?
5.
Mention them.
Mention
FA
them.
Cups and two community
5 years.
Yes.
Your
Check it
FA
out.
Cup was 2013, 2014,
We won
2015,
before,
2017.
yes.
And that's the only trophy.
No. And they were saying, when we saying Mikel Arteta,
My brother,
they said-
you have
they said-
just 3 trophies
they
to
said
talk
we signed
about.
an
And it's not even in
manager.
5 years.
And then they were saying, ole.
And
Now
they
they are
say
starting.
Arteta, and the man behind Pep Guardiola, the brain behind Pep Guardiola.
And
Work.
the
He
man
came here,
has
he fumbled.
gotten us his first trophy, won a trophy. Was
First
that not
trophy.
right?
I'll ask you pointedly now. Do you think Arsenal would give England good representation in the UEFA Champions League?
Which player is there in Arsenal? Tomiyasu.
Okay, you
Who
guys,
do you want to see?
You guys have
Who will
Ronaldo.
leave the comfort of his house to go and watch the club?
You guys have Ronaldo,
Eh?
Sancho, and you guys still bottle the Champions League.
My brother, even if we get to play in the Europa League, my brother, Europa League will get most sponsors.
No,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that even if we get to play, Europa League will still have more sponsors than what Arsenal are doing.
What are the chances of United qualifying for the Champions League on a scale of 1 to 10?
Our chances, we had our chances. I'm going to be honest. We had our chances.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
A scale of 1 to 10, I will tell you that no matter what, maybe I'm not just expecting a miracle. I'll be very honest.
Conference League, 10 Conference League.
I'll be very,
watch out for
very
this
honest.
fixture.
An average
The
of
game
5,
of the season
5
next
to 10.
season. United versus Jerusalem.
In the Conference
Ronaldo
League.
to score in the
It
Conference
does
League.
not, it does, and he's getting a goal. I'm talking about the picture. Imagine someone sitting down at the comfort, coming out in a visitor to watch his raw.
I tell you this, it's poor mentality that kills. Poor mentality kills the whole game entirely, because you say Arsenal don't have good players to match up the Champions League. You see Villarreal now. What's that players in that team? Moreno. His
and
name
this same Villarreal is talking about. Unai Emery was actually a manager in charge of this Arsenal. Why
And
didn't
you get my point. Emery went 28 games unbeaten, but still couldn't give us what we wanted. We had to let him go.
So he was the problem. He was the problem. He wasn't the problem. You guys were the problem.
He went to PSG and they still sacked him. Not only Arsenal.
No,
he went to
he
PSG
left
also.
PSG to join.
He left PSG.
Yes,
to
that's what I'm
Arsenal.
saying. He was from PSG. Now came to Arsenal. They sacked him both clubs. So
let's talk about Emery. Now you said that he went to the 8 games unbeaten, but didn't give Arsenal what they wanted. What did Arsenal want?
We wanted a top 4 finish and wanted a trophy.
To go and do what?
In Arteta's time, how many times has Arsenal finished top 4?
Arteta, this is his second, third season now. He won a trophy first. That's the first.
So what is this trophy you're talking about? Will the trophy take you to the UEFA Champions League?
No. Listen to me. The first thing you should do as a manager is get something in your wardrobe. Get something. Get a silverware.
Really?
And you came his first season with the players he had. He could not even set his team well.
I still blame Ole for all these things. I still blame Ole because I won't be here talking to an Arsenal fan for these kind of issues. I mean, I didn't mean we picked up that Europa League trophies and we're able to do another one.
I didn't mean you won Arsenal. You would have been first.
My brother, my point is here. I do not have Arsenal going to the UEFA Champions League.
That you would have been
What
first.
are they going there to do?
What did you go there to do?
Are you going there to be tried by Bayern Munich again?
What did you go there
to do? Are you going there to be tried by Bayern
Munich? Okay, no. Let me put this to you now. If this United team should face off Bayern, what will happen?
My brother will play a better game. And even if we get to lose, we will lose with pride.
But Manchester United were in the same group as Atalanta, Villarreal.
Okay.
They didn't qualify.
Yeah, well,
the Champions League.
I'm telling you the truth. United, like I said right from the beginning of the season, United have not really upped their game like we used to do in the United we used to do in the time past.
What United do you?
So
mention one key title winning match.
My brother, if you happen to see yourself in a group that has Bayern Munich, Chelsea, will you talk?
Yes. Because I've beaten Chelsea.
I'll ask you one. Key question is, he's asked something. Okay. If peradventure Arsenal qualify for the Champions League, and then Arsenal are pitted against Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, or the top clubs in Europe.
First off,
how much will be your confidence?
First off, that pitting can't happen because you can't bring 2 title league winning teams in one group. So now, if you give me that question, it's going to be a thing like Bayern, yes, Sevilla, Inter, AC. We can beat AC. We have done that before. We can
Arsenal
beat
can
Inter.
defeat AC
We
Milan.
have done that before. Europa League, check it out. We beat them. You bring Arsenal,
that was 4 years ago.
It still does not matter because you
really?
Still have that pedigree. You have done it before. You can do it again.
Which players are you talking about?
Rest one side. When you have finished with your
which players are you talking about? Pedigree with
now, back to you. Back to you. The fourth club is talking.
You have one of the best strikers and you let him go.
Who is that?
What's the name? Eric.
Wait, let me say Aubameyang. You mean Aubameyang?
Yes, I'm talking about him.
Aubameyang was not performing in Arsenal in the sense that.
And now he's performing in Barca.
He's not performing in Barca. He went to a club that plays his style of football.
Oh, his style of football.
Aubameyang wanted to play as a top 9.
At the top 9.
Arteta was playing at the wing.
That's the problem. No. Aubameyang finished his first season as the highest goal scorer at United.
And he won you guys the FA Cup you're talking about. He won the FA Cup you're talking about.
Was it really a problem of not fitting into the system?
Aubameyang was not really a problem to me. Personally, I think that was the problem with the whole board itself, with the whole salary thing. And then his mood seemed to go down when they sold Ozil and they sold the key players in Arsenal because he was now like, I remember watching a game and then after we were losing 1-0. Yeah. And the coach turned to the bench and was bringing out Reece Nelson. Nelson came onto the field and his first pass was terrible, like completely terrible. And Aubameyang lost it. He started complaining, shouting at the young man. I mean, from that game, I could see that his whole vibe in the team went down completely. So now that was not a problem of the whole team fitting. It was Aubameyang not wanting to stay in the team. I could not blame him. He has always wanted to be a Barcelona player, and he now went there. He's chasing his dream.
Let's move away from the Aubameyang story. Let's talk about quality in both teams. Player by player. How many Arsenal players do you think would walk straight into United lineup?
Oh my God, should that be a question right now? I have Saka. You want to bring Elanga? Please bring Elanga.
Who is Saka going to bench at United?
Elanga all day, every day.
Elanga is just you're going to bench Elanga. I believe that one.
Oh, he's going to bench Elanga.
No. Elanga is actually an average. It's actually a small boy.
Elanga is average.
No, it's not average. It's a small boy coming out from the.
Saka, how old do you think Saka is?
Saka is actually an age above Elanga. What are you telling me?
A young player is a young player, no matter the season, no matter the time.
Apart from Elanga,
listen.
Saka, apart from
Elanga, Saka is better than Anthony Elanga.
Okay, now Odegaard will bench Bruno anytime, any day.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Who did you just mention?
Odegaard will bench Bruno anytime, any day.
All right.
Ben, why is that we saying we bought Ben 10? We bought Ben 10. He's going to come and do his little omnitrix and transform into this. Look at now, he's better than Maguire 100 times.
Really?
He's better than Maguire 100 times.
Ben White,
they are left backs and they are right backs.
Ben White
is better than Maguire.
Ben White is better than Harry
Maguire.
Even at this poor run of form, I will still go for Harry Maguire.
How many errors does Maguire have?
Oh my God.
Yeah, leave the errors. I'm talking about even at this poor run of form, I will still go for Harry Maguire.
Because right now, you're talking without facts.
All right, guys, let's talk about something. Let's head to the comment section and take a few comments from our Facebook page. Inyene Malaki says, with the way the UEFA Champions League is, Arsenal cannot survive. They have an experience written all over them, from coach to players.
What I just said.
Villarreal had inexperience too. Look at them now.
But they had a great manager, Unai Emery.
Wana,
yes,
that's a talk. Your coach, if he ever qualifies for the Champions League, it will be his first time as a coach in the UEFA Champions League. And then, how many Arsenal players have played in the Champions League before?
The first question is when the Arteta start coaching. Arsenal fans now, we don't expect that high of him. Get us to the Champions League. You play good in games, not play like Man U.
Where do you intend, to crash out? How long do you think you'd stay at the Champions League next season?
To me, Arsenal can make it to the quarterfinal.
Oh
the quarterfinal.
Which quarterfinal?
He says quarterfinals.
You are going home. A night boss. In group stage. I'm telling you the truth.
Listen, the thing is, when you have a great fan base and you go to a game against Bayern,
so the fans will be the one to play
the Chelsea.
Will they be the one to play the game?
No, you saw the game against Chelsea.
Imagine using this no, listen. Play Bayern. Who do you want to mark?
You don't hear this expression. The 12th man is the fan.
Oh, the 12th man
against Chelsea. You came. I was watching the game, and the stadium was actually going rockets because Arsenal. As the game started, Arsenal. That was the chance. The Chelsea players could not even get the ball steady on their feet.
Chelsea let themselves down in that game.
On a normal
good day.
But your United lost too.
They lost to Arsenal too.
We know we lost to Arsenal because they just actually picked a good. I mean, let me explain something about this Arsenal team. In the beginning of the season, you get to see them come up. We are going for the league. We are going for the league.
That never happened.
Champions League. We are going for the Champions League. We are going to qualify for the Champions League. And before you know,
no Arsenal fan came out and said.
And now at the end of the season, they get to come back again. And they came back at this point in time that United is not even informed. My brother, go and check the record. Ever since October 1894, yes. 1894. We have played 237 matches. Manchester United have gone back home with 98 wins. And you have gone back home with only 86.
Now, let's talk about flops. Let's talk about flops in both teams. Okay. Flops. I mean, you Arsenal signed a certain Nicola Pepe for £72 million, and this man is yet to score 30 goals in how many seasons for Arsenal? Do you classify Pepe as a flop?
Pep as a flop, not generally, no. Really? I don't have a flop in my team.
You don't have a flop in your team?
No, it is just down to the structure of the team and how the team plays.
But he's played under two coaches, right?
Under two, yes.
Unai Emery and Mikel Arteta. He's not been able to perform in both both systems.
Personally, Pepe in the Premier League does not really work out that much, but he's a great player. He's not a flop. If you watch him in games,
don't you think that's an excuse?
It's not.
It's a big time excuse because this guy, when this guy was in Lille, you get to see what Nicola Pepe was doing in Lille. He was the talk of the town. And when he came to Arsenal, did they even pay the money off? Because they bought him, and I think it's
they pay the money off. Let's get some comments from Chris Isaiah. He says, Arsenal are no match for Manchester United. We are better than Arsenal in everything. Arsenal are praying to be like us.
Yeah, and they are praying to be in the top 4. You see how that works.
For now, wait, you're talking about the top 4. My brother, go. I don't have any problem
Arsenal
with
are praying to be like Manchester United.
No, I can never see that.
20 Premier League titles.
Arsenal have 13.
Can you win it in one day? 20 Premier League titles.
Arsenal, have you ever gone?
The only thing that you guys have surpassed us is the FA Cup, which they have 13. We have 12.
Have you ever gone unbeaten the whole season? The Invincibles.
Unbeaten.
The Invincibles.
Apart from that, have we been able to pick up? We went unbeaten for 45 matches. We were able to actually hold a record.
But your team has not gone for 49 matches.
Yes, 49 29 matches.
Invincible for a
full
reason.
season.
For that, I give him the credit. But since then, has he been able to lift any title they call Premier League?
The problem is, no.
Have you been able to lift it
The
up?
problem is, back then you guys had great players, great managers.
And you had great players too now.
Arsenal
Are you
had
telling me
great
Arsene
players.
Wenger wasn't
no,
a great player?
No, if you remember, Arsenal United,
I mean a great
Arsenal
coach.
United will always first, second. Then sometimes Chelsea will peep in their big head and try to win the league sometimes. You get that feeling. Then Liverpool went on this poor run of form. It was always Arsenal United. Then they lost their manager. They lost Ferguson. What happened? They went down the pecking order. They signed Van Gaal, didn't work. They signed Di Maria. I mean, they could turn Di Maria, they paid to average ballers. Di Maria, they put to average, but it didn't still work. They went, they got Matic, they got back Pogba.
Yeah.
They said, okay, this is our season. It still didn't work out. Now they went and got Maguire. The hype that season was out of this world.
Let's talk about hype from the Facebook page. Pato says, apart from Ronaldo, no Manchester United player will make to Arsenal's lineup. The rest of them belong to our under 23.
Yes.
Are you rating them based on this
That
season?
is how FIFA
I'm
ratings
talking
is
about
always
form. Form is permanent. Are you rating them on this season alone?
What is this?
This user has said that apart from Ronaldo, no other player would make it to
I'm
Arsenal's
talking
starting lineup. The rest belong to
Homeboy.
Really?
Listen to what you just said.
Let me start from
said.
the in behind between the sticks. Who stand between the sticks for us? David De Gea.
Okay.
A big time player. Who is
How many clean sheets does he have?
What are you talking about?
He makes the save, yes.
Because the defenders have not been helping.
Then you have the keeper, you have the defenders. It's still a problem. Your team is back average.
So Ramsdale
is better than De Gea.
David
Is that what
De
you're
Gea.
telling me?
Who would you choose?
I'll choose Ramsdale all day, every day.
My brother, you will collect a lot.
Ramsdale can pass
from your opponent.
Ramsdale makes saves.
Ramsdale,
Let's
a man who took these guys to relegation. Sheffield United.
Two teams to
relegation, and he came out.
No.
Sheffield United.
Now, I bring this back to you because he has said something I said earlier and he was disagreeing with me. Maguire is not an average player. The atmosphere around that team makes him average.
Please, my brother, come and get him.
Ramsdale
We don't
was
want
in
him
Sheffield.
again.
I'll ask you,
went
Wana,
down.
would you want a Harry Maguire in your Arsenal team?
You give me Maguire, I have Tavares already. There's nothing you can do to me that I have Tavares. Give me Maguire. When the coach gives you that confidence and then the fan base backs you up, you think
the fan base are not backing Maguire up?
No, because you come into the match. I mean, there was during the whole COVID thing without the fan. No.
Performing with the high rate of the price you paid for him. I mean, over 18 million for a defender, and you are an English boy, and you are the captain of the team. How would the fans be happy? Will you be happy to send your son to school?
I'll ask you something. Okay. When I asked about Nicola Pepe, you said the system does not favor him. But when you talk about Maguire, you're saying that the fans are not in support of him. Am I not spelling double standards there?
It's not double standard because he didn't let me land. All right,
lad.
Pepe's problem now is his physicality is down. He still feels as if this is the League One where he will come, do a little flicks and tricks, and the defenders will stand and look at him and be smiling and saying, okay, he's a great player, let's let him score 20-something goals. He was struggling with Kylian Mbappe that time.
Okay.
But now in the Premier League, he has not really picked up that form. And instead of us, you see the difference in Arsenal fan base now. We're not coming on social media to say this player is a black player, we are racially abusing him.
So
no.
you're supporting him?
We are supporting him, we are giving him the backing. Anytime he plays, we cheer this player. On social media, we support them. Now, we come back to Man U now. They have Harry Maguire. A great player. He plays for England.
My brother, come and get him. A great player.
Let's take some
You never let me land. Maguire now plays in this
Let's take some comments from the Facebook page, guys. Chukudi Samson says, I'm a Chelsea fan and I'll prefer to see Manchester United in the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal will disgrace England with their inexperienced squad. Well, I'll let you guys, there'll be, if we continue this banter, we don't have any more time. So I'll just get to let's just round up the show. The Arsenal team, of course, will be in action later this weekend, but I'll ask you, United against Brighton, what do you think would be the result of that game?
Well, let's see. United can't pass the ball. Their goalkeeper can't pass the ball. They can't seem to score goals.
Do we need these details?
No, I actually need my details because I want to let him know that his team is actually terrible, like quite terrible.
We still get the better result.
And they are still sixth, playing against Jerusalem next season. Let that land.
Things will change at the end of the day.
Well, now Brighton can play. Brighton defeated Arsenal. Got a draw against Chelsea.
Absolutely.
Oh, because they defeated Arsenal, and you think they can actually defend Man United?
They defeated Arsenal. Arsenal defeated Man United. You can see how that goes, yeah.
Oh,
really?
So now Brighton will defeat Man U a goal to nil.
My brother, I will be in your house watching the match.
Find me.
Right, so you guys can link up after the show.
Yeah, he'll find me.
Thank you very much, Joanna, for coming around. I actually love to have you around every step of the way. You've been a fantastic fan, very controversial, and I like that. But let's take one very last comment. Janet Essien says, glory, glory, Manchester United. Arsenal will always be our younger ones.
So much.
Well, you use that to end the show today. Thank you very much, Itoro, for coming around. We appreciate it. Juana, thank you very much for coming around. Of course, we'll come back again on Wednesday by 5 p.m. for another exciting edition of Battle of the Fans. Stick around for the rest of the day's broadcast and enjoy your Saturday. My name is Isaac. You can always call me Marizona, and I'm out. Ciao, ciao.